Just the Tips.
So here we go, everybody. Adam and Mike coming at you from the Just the Tips Podcast studio.
Yeah.
This is Cowork Kingston.
Yes, Cowork Kingston in Uptown Kingston. We got a little podcast spot here. Going to do our next podcast here, episode 14.
Already, holy cow, flying. Just back from our guys' trip to Orlando. Unbelievable trip. I'll tell you right up front, I told my wife, I called her in a little bit of like an exhausted, maybe lack of sobriety, maybe, emotionally devastated. I called her up. I said, I want you to find whatever the women's version of this is for yourself. I want you to experience this. I know it's not a bunch of women going to play golf, right? But
Why not?
Dude, women are super catty with each other.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, imagine 8 women in a house like that. Dude, 8 dudes barely made it.
Exactly. So, but I hope there's something. But, for women, I don't know what they do. Maybe it's a spa weekend or something like that, a bed and breakfast kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
No, maybe this is only...
Pickleball?
A pickleball getaway?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Number one,
or a wine tasting.
A wine tasting, something like that. But whatever we just had was absolutely amazing.
Dude, getting back to work and, everyone, I was out last week, so all my clients were like, dude, how was it? How was it? And I mean, obviously I got to repeat myself 20 times a day just to say it to people, but I had to say, I'm like, perfect weather, perfect golf, perfect house.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Perfect bunch of guys.
Yeah, dude, it was freaking amazing.
Except for one.
Listen, I mean, I wouldn't really, I mean, Gary was fine.
It was you.
Oh, I'm the guy. So that's what they say when you're at a poker table, right? Like if you don't see who the bad player is, it's you. No, it was, listen, I had a great time. Nobody bothered me, everybody was their own person and you have 8 different personalities. Whatever. I would totally do it again.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do it again tomorrow.
In a second. And, again, maybe our sponsors from Sundog Eyewear, can bring us down to, where's Sundog out of?
We should probably know that.
We should probably find out.
Yeah, we should know
But I bet there's someplace really cool. We could go on a boys' trip golfing there. And then when you do go to
Canada. I'm not going to Canada.
Really?
I'm not going north in the winter.
No, not in the winter. We could even go, imagine a summer guys' trip. But check out the Sundog Eyewear. How'd your Sundogs do on the trip?
Dude, I'm telling you, man. So I have 2 pairs of Sundogs, right? And these pair are the true blue, like one dialed down from a polarized lens.
What these are.
And freaking awesome. I have my other pair that I wear when I'm driving and stuff. I have driving sunglasses apparently.
Cool.
And they're great. But then you put those other ones on, and it's a whole new world.
I had eye surgery, and now I can't see close, so I had to get driving bifocals so I can text and drive.
You had eye surgery?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you can't putt. Oh, all right, I get it now.
Yeah. So use the code JTT at JTT15 at checkout for 15% off your Sundog orders, and get those driving glasses or driving glasses.
There you go.
There you go. And Ball Hawker, thank you, Ball Hawker, for coming through in a big way. God, did I need those balls down there. Holy cow.
Especially that first day. Oh, my God. 30-mile-an-hour winds.
I had 9 golf balls that were brand new in the sleeve. I had 2 or 3, late season balls that were in perfect shape. And then I had 18 Ball Hawker balls. Oh, really? I came back with 6 balls. So if it wasn't for Ball Hawker, here's your... one of the places we were playing was getting $72 a dozen.
Yeah. Well, it had a logo on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big deal.
That's a $12 logo apparently.
Apparently,
14.
But if you're gonna go on a guy's golf trip and you're gonna spend a ton of time on the course, get yourself a bunch of Ball Hawkers golf balls, because again, $72 a dozen. We had one guy DoorDash 3 dozen golf balls from Dick's.
Dude. And then we had another guy I think he went to Dick's. Like he took a trip over there. But Ball Hawker, I'm telling you, either you partner with some Airbnb like golf trip companies, or they got to partner with you, but you got a sweet gig going if you can hook that up, man, because I was probably. I think I brought down. I brought down a dozen brand new Titleist, and then I had a dozen Vice that your wife gave me for Christmas. I'm her trainer. That's why she gave it to me. Actually, I think you guys both gave them to me.
From the Paddock family.
Yeah.
To the Romanos, but they're just here.
Yes. Yeah. Lisa's not going to use them. And I think I came, and then I probably had a couple, maybe 6, maybe 9 ball hawker balls in the bag. And I came back with 2 sleeves of the Vice and maybe 2 ball hawker balls. Yeah. It was
Well,
water everywhere.
Tough courses, never saw them before. Wind was up, water every place. Championship golf courses, you're going to lose golf balls. So before your next golf trip, reach out to our boy Todd at ballhawker.com, recovery and recycling for all your used golf ball needs. And every week they have a special going on. Something you could pick up, just a couple of bucks for a dozen of something. And but the Pro Vs were good. The Chrome Soft Tri-Tracks worked out fine for us.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, I know people hate on it for some reason, but dude, I mean, especially if you're going to a course where there's water on every single hole.
220-yard carries.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, even in Myrtle Beach, dude. Like, you know what I mean? You're carrying over all this stuff. Like, dude, put your ego aside and, I don't want to lose a $7 brand new Pro V on the first hole.
Yep, alligator food.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't want to lose 3 Pro Vs on any hole. So, and it's doable.
And then just before we left, our partner Shaft Wraps came through in a big way. We got the box. We got thank you guys, really do appreciate it. And they're out of Arizona, so that is definitely a golf a boys trip. We're gonna have to come take a look at the Shaft Wraps. Operation. You'll have to inspect it for ourselves.
Well, I think we should just go there and have them put the Shaft Wraps on my clothes.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to doing that. I got to be honest. I watched the videos, but the ones that they sent us, unbelievable. Really cool stuff. And there was a couple of secret surprises in there.
Yeah,
I was like,
appreciate it, guys.
So coming to you soon, videos around the unboxing, and then the wrapping, and then the playing. So that's coming out to you soon. So long story short, like I said, I can't even hold my water. We can't even get through our sponsors without talking about this boys trip. What was your you said your overall impression you were telling your clients?
Dude, honestly, perfect, right? Like, so I haven't been on like a traditional guys trip like that. Like, me and like 3 buddies have gone, like, we drive an hour and go play or whatever, but we never like, I've done stayed overnight places, but it's usually like me and Easy E or Easy and Rick, whatever. It's never been like this kind of setup. Perfect. Yeah. Perfectly done. I wouldn't change anything. It was amazing. House was amazing. Like, dude, like, perfect all around.
So it started with the invitation back in, I got the whispers that something cool was going on in like September. I said, if we do this, would you be available? And my first thing was, who's going? Because you don't want to get stuck, on a week-long vacation with your arch nemesis, the guy who gives you a hard time on the course.
Which is who? How many of those do you have?
I get a bunch. When you're as good as I am and you're taking everybody's money. Like I said, the whole thing was the guy who was running it. And again, for today's podcast, we don't have non-disclosure agreements.
The Godfather.
With the Godfather putting this together, I knew it was going to be a great trip. They'd been going down for years with 4 guys, and now they expanded it to 8. But he was very, very careful about kind of who they selected. Who they sent the invitations out to, and it even got to the point where, hey, if we can't book the other 4 guys correctly,
like full 4,
we'll just go back to the original 4, and that was fair enough.
Which is fair enough, because you don't want to just throw an 8th in there and be like, he's the one that like ruins old. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I
think what was exciting was I got the nod, then you got the nod, and then we traveled to Puerto Rico together. That was awesome, but this was just golf.
Oh, so was Puerto Rico like a test trip for me and you?
It
like
was.
You to me?
It was to see if we could cohabitate together, which this trip went really well. So we flew Albany Southwest, which I'm not a big Southwest guy. They don't fly them corporately. You fly Southwest quite a bit with the family.
Yeah. It's cheap. It's easy. You know, I like flying out of Albany because it's just, you know, it's right up just, you know, it's up the thruway. It's not too bad. You know, up until last summer, I haven't had a problem with them. Last summer, 4-hour delay. That was the only problem.
Happens on occasion.
Yeah, so I wasn't like really blaming it on Southwest. It's just kind of like everything that's been going on post-COVID. I think it's kind of common now to like kind of have delays. So no issues.
I think, you know, I fly United a lot and I fly American a lot. I fly Delta a lot more than I fly Southwest. Matter of fact, I only flew Southwest once before. My initial impression was terrified of the Greyhound like staging. But both time, I go, I don't have a seat. I'm having a panic attack.
Oh, you mean like the seating?
Yeah.
The ABC.
But both times we were able to sit next to each other. Both times we didn't have anybody sitting with us, so that was great. There was plenty of baggage. 2 bags for free. And again, Southwest not a sponsor yet, but maybe they should be. Because 2 bags for free, including the golf clubs.
Yeah, so anything under 50 pounds is considered a bag.
Yep. So I fly United a lot. United hits you for $35 for the first bag, $75 for the second bag, and if it's golf clubs, it's $150.
Oh, my God.
So I'm thinking Southwest is the preferred flight usage for golfers.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, no issues, right? Like, no banging around with the clubs. Like, I don't think there was an issue at all.
None. And again, staff is excellent. Flight was excellent. Now I fly a lot, and I was even telling you, like, you know, depending on the weather, you know, and there's apps you can see to take a look at the weather up and down the East Coast. We were going New York to Orlando, and I go, dude, we're in for a little choppy one. Yeah. And we got in there. That might have been the roughest flight ever. When you're,
he said it too, though.
Yeah.
He said it over the speaker. The captain did, and he's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a little choppy."
But when your drink is like splashing out, like hitting the ceiling, you know.
Yeah, I remember flying down, and I was like, "I'm gonna drink this fast."
But flew in Orlando, got our gear quick, Uber quick, and then.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
The deal is first come, first serve on rooms. But we couldn't get into the house until 4.
And we landed at 9.
So we were first ones
15,
down,
yeah.
right? We were first ones in Orlando, I guess. But we couldn't get in until 4, and we didn't have anything to do. So, play go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is we're playing that Champions Gate golf course, right?
All week.
All week.
3 of the 4 days.
Yeah. So shout out to Champions Gate and Ron over there at the pro shop.
And Dom.
Yep. Hooked us up nice. Appreciate it. Again, they're a big resort. They have an Omni Hotel on the property, 2 golf courses, a teaching school.
Driving range.
The driving range was unbelievable. But the trick is that these guys are used to hosting golf nuts. So you and I, in our, you know, again, you know, just to back up a little bit, it was Super Bowl. 2:30 in the morning, I left the house after our Niners lost. I picked you up at 3 o'clock. We're to the airport by 4 o'clock. We're through security by 5. We're in the air by 6. We're on the ground by 9:15. To the golf course by 10 o'clock in the morning. Right?
Yeah.
But again, kind of, you know, sleep deprived, maybe a little hungover. One
of us.
Well, like I said, Niners lost. But long story short is these guys know how to take care of golf nuts that come right from the airport. I mean, we got our bags.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't like a weird thing. Like, they knew, they were like, yep, right over here, right downstairs. Yep.
We'll take your bags over here, take your clubs out, put the clubs on the cart, take your clothes.
Go change.
So we get into the locker room. How cool
Dude,
was
what
that?
an awesome locker room. I mean, it wasn't the biggest, but it had amazing nameplates on the lockers. Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus.
Tom Kite.
Lee
Trevino.
Bernard Langer.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
PJ Singh.
Awesome.
And you're standing there getting changed, you know, after this long flight.
Yeah.
And it, you know, you're like in the presence of greatness because you know, again, they got those brass things on there. I don't know if they. Oh, you know what it is the Champions Gate for years and years held what is today the PNC challenge, which is the player and their child.
Yeah.
Back then it was called the father-son tournament.
Right. So like now it's not player child, it's family member.
Yeah, family member.
Because, you know, some people play with their son. Tiger plays with his son. Jordan Spieth, I believe, plays with his dad. Or no, Justin Thomas plays with his dad. So it's like it's a bunch of different things. But it was originally held there. and there's tons of pictures and awesome stuff.
The cool one was Nicholas and Arnie with their kids
Yeah.
teeing off together, and that's right in the locker room.
So
You're like,
cool.
oh, dude, it's ridiculous.
Awesome stuff there. I mean, the clubhouse was awesome. You walk in, big glass doors, and you walk in. There's
Palm
like a sunken-in
trees.
bar.
Yeah.
Pro shop on the right, restaurant on the left, but it's all open, which is really, really cool.
Check out the podcast number 13 also. If you take a look, they have all these staff bags all over the place that kind of make up the decor, but they're all, official tour staff bags with the player's name on them. And again, that just kind of makes up, they don't have a lot of plants and stuff there. They got staff bags all over the place.
That's
awesome.
the decorations. The golf stuff is the decorations, which is awesome. I think that's really cool.
I think we should do that in our
Project for the fall.
Yeah, we won't talk about that yet.
Yeah, let's not yet.
So first thing was after getting checked in, we had to have lunch.
Yep. Outdoor patio. We got checked in. We went around back because we had to drop the bags off to the guys. They got us set up. We were there 4 hours. We had a 2:00 tee time.
Yep. It's 10 in the morning.
And it's 10 o'clock, and we're starving. So we swing around back. We sit on the back patio. It's gorgeous out, but we can see there's a little bit of wind going on. Great, dude. The menu at this place, so good. So
What a
good.
bar menu.
Yeah, and it was delicious.
So you had a thing where we weren't allowed to eat the...
Yeah, so we were going to eat there. So this is Monday.
Yeah.
We're also playing there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I said, we're going to eat here every day in between rounds. So we just can't repeat something that we ate. So buffalo chicken sandwich, amazing.
With bacon.
With bacon on everything.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And 2 beers.
It was the right thing to do.
I mean, I feel like I was just, the sun was out. It was 80 degrees. Sleep deprived.
We left, it was 28.
Yeah.
With ice on everything.
Yep.
So I was trying not to drink because I'm ready to play real golf, and I've been drinking all morning.
Trying to sober up for your round.
Does
that still count? Like for you, hey, I didn't drink because it was a different state. Or you were in air.
I was in the air trying to get calmed down from a rough flight, and I was looking for a cup of coffee. But I had a beer with you, so you got all over me because I ordered a cup of coffee, a grilled cheese sandwich with a bowl of tomato soup.
Yeah, dude. Who gets grilled cheese and tomato soup when it's 80 degrees and you just landed in Florida?
It was delicious.
I know.
It was Gruyere.
I know.
And it was a tomato bisque with it had olive oil.
Oh, don't get me
on
wrong.
top.
It looked delicious. Definitely looked like something I wanted to have back in New York, not in Florida.
I did concede the beer because we had plenty of time.
Yeah.
But the food there at Champions Gate is ridiculous.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Lunch every day, got something different,
Yep.
and was never disappointed.
Never.
Yeah.
But then they had us. Now it's like 11:30. We still have 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But we also said, hey, listen. The reason for the practice round was to knock the rust off. We haven't swung a club in anger since Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, so, they got great practice facilities. Little confusing when we got there because they got the 2 courses. I don't know. I didn't even really look around. You probably should read the signs that are everywhere.
Yeah.
But we were going to the putting green a little bit. I did want to get the drone up, but didn't get it up this day because it was 30-mile-an-hour winds.
So 2 club wind at the minimum. The wind was howling. But the putting green was amazing. Gigantic, too, by the way.
Great greens.
The most pure greens I've ever played. They're just, we'll talk more about in episode 15, we'll talk more about the courses themselves. But just to know, consistent greens, unbelievable practice facility, and true. I mean, just the truest putts. There were like no subtlety to them at all. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. And it's almost like you're overreading them because you want to try to see something in them. You're like, there's no way this is like...
No grain either. Or at least I wasn't playing any grain.
Well,
because I couldn't see it.
I did, but not side grain. Like I wasn't, it's going to pull it right or whatever. But definitely like the uphill grain and downhill grain, I was reading.
Yep. So I didn't see a lot, and the putts were going true. But I learned something important, and you showed it to me on the green about chipping. And chipping was a major factor this whole trip for not only you and me, but for
everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah. I mean, the Bermuda grass, the grain in the Bermuda grass. If you're chipping into it, and you have like a sharp Like, I didn't touch my 54 or my 58 this round because, one, I just bought the 54. I didn't want to break another one. And then, if you're digging into this grain, you're gonna chunk it. If you're not hitting ball first, you're gonna hit this close short of the ball, and it's gonna dig in, and you're gonna chunk it, and it's gonna go 2 feet.
Yeah.
But if you're down grain, you're gonna bounce off the grain and hit into the middle ball and skull it, which is probably what I was doing in Myrtle. It wasn't the club's fault. I'm sorry I took it out on you. I miss you. You're still sitting in the back of my truck.
Yeah.
I might reshaft it at some point.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so a lot of putting from off the green. A lot of I use the A wedge a ton and the pitching wedge a ton. Has a little bit more bounce depending on which way the grain was going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gary was using 8-iron.
And to a great deal of
This
effect.
dude master.
Yeah. So, and we had one guy who was ready to ditch his clubs and go to Dick's and buy a set of Florida wedges. He was just getting so frustrated. I go, you're going to buy a set of Florida wedges? He goes, well, I'm going to come back to Florida, so maybe I should buy them. I go, you're going to drop 300?
Like 2 sets? Like he has his New York wedges and his...
Yeah. Well, if we were on tour, TaylorMade would be there. Like, these are the wedges to use for this graph.
Dude, they know ahead of time.
Yeah,
they know, like, all right, these are my wedges in Arizona. These are my wedges here. Yeah, dude.
Yep, my New York wedges took a while to come around. So we leave the putting green, go over to the range facility.
Yeah, really cool range facility. See the hotel, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Got out there, great setup, cool. I started shooting a little bit of footage. You were warming up, so I got into warming up. Pitch and wedge, 8-iron, 6-iron, 4-iron, hybrid, driver.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys remember, listen back, I cracked my Stealth 2 driver on the back side, and I shipped it out to TaylorMade, and they said February 28th. Well, I looked at the shipping, and it ended up coming in on February 14th. It was my Valentine's Day present from TaylorMade, so I appreciate that, guys.
Aw.
But I wasn't home to get it. So
if you go back to episode 11, we had the saga of the driver.
Yeah.
And you did a combine for different heads and different shafts, and you settled on the M4 with the Hector Blanco shaft.
Yeah, so M4 with, I had a regular shaft in it. I gave it to my dad, so I grabbed it. And I brought the whole thing with me just because, for simplicity. Switched it out to the Hector Blanco shaft. Luckily, I threw the regular shaft in my bag just to bring it along.
Yeah.
Well, I hit 4 pure drives, like pure. Like, I would even go as far as saying there was a little bit of draw in these. I don't know if it was the wind.
The wind was blowing 30 miles an hour right to left. Yep.
So then I mean, dude, I'll even put the video up over this.
Mm-hmm.
I stand there, and I'm not leaning on this. I'm holding it like this, bend down, put the tee in the ground, and the driver head's just laying there.
Is that the Blanco shaft?
Yep.
Back to Puerto Rico with us.
And I'm like, all right, maybe I didn't, like, split second, I'm like, maybe I didn't screw this on all the way. I look down, and it snaps above the neck. What is that?
The hosel.
The whatever that thing's, the tip, the TaylorMade tip.
Oh, yeah.
That's epoxied on that you can kind of swap out. It's above that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. I'm like, this driver this can't be real.
Yeah.
I was so mad, and watching the video, like, I was just, I couldn't believe it.
When you came over to me on the range holding the head and the shaft, and I'm like, what are you, switching shafts and you need a hand like holding it and stuff like this? And he looks out and there's still a piece of the shaft. I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now.
So I had to, luckily I brought that regular flex with me. Put that in to the M4 head like it's 2016. And on the range, smoked it. Like totally fine. Didn't make a big of a difference. Because I'm kind of in between. Like I'm on the low side of stiff flex, so like I can get away with it.
But your Hector Blanco shaft was specifically made for your swing speed, your height. It had the perfect kick point.
Yeah. So
now you got some stock crappy regular shaft.
Oh, and totally, like I mean, all of my clubs up until that Stealth 2 were off the rack. You know, so yeah, it was a little frustrating, and it didn't do me so well on the course.
Yep.
But good news is Hector Blanco texted me back last night, and we got a new one on the way, custom, you know, and he asked me what my swing speed was, and back then it was 105. Now it's 107.
Yep.
So maybe that gets me like the neon orange one or something. Ooh. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. And shout out to Hector Blanco, the professor. If you're in, follow him on Facebook at Hector Blanco. And if you're in Puerto Rico, if you're in San Juan, just take the time, look him up. We'll give you his number. He's the man, the myth, the legend.
Dude,
and,
go. It's totally worth it. The guy is super smart. He will tell you everything there is to know about your clubs now and where they really need to be. And then he'll tell you some stories about the Puerto Rico Open also, and anything else you want to know about Puerto Rico.
We'll pause right there because we're going to, in episode 15, we'll talk to you guys about the courses that we played. But if you go back to episode 13, you'll see that we did get paired up and got a chance to play with 8-time NFL defensive back, an unbelievable defensive coach and defensive coordinator of the Orlando Galaxy, Tony Carter.
Orlando Galaxy?
I think that was the name.
Guardians?
The Guardians.
Well, they left though, right? They left the state.
So he's looking for for a coaching gig.
Actually, don't bother him. He's living the dream right now, playing golf every single day. Yeah, we started following him on just on Instagram, and dude, he's posting every day that he's golfing. So you know what, Leo, he's doing fine.
If I lived in Orlando and I was next to Champions Gate, I had a cool truck like him. And
dude, he caddied you around that course for the front nine.
No.
And then I slipped him $20. I was like, dude, stop saying things, man.
So we caught an Uber on the way back. By the way, Orlando, all the birds go there for the wintertime. I was surprised on the golf course how many birds there were. But
can you blame them?
It's crazy people-y down there.
Yeah.
Because all the people go there. I didn't realize that either.
Yeah.
And 3 miles, 17 minutes to go 3 miles to the house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, stoplights. It wasn't just the stoplights. It was the stoplights with the amount of traffic.
But gated community.
Beautiful.
Right? Go to the house. 8 bedrooms, 6.5 bath.
Dude,
right?
I didn't get enough footage of like arriving. Right, because I was just happy to be there. You know, I want to like take my shoes off. You know, amazing, absolutely gorgeous. I wish I wish I got some footage of the arrival, but dude, I mean, mind blown.
Yeah,
mind blown.
So you know, you were saying though, when you thought of an 8-bedroom house, you would think like
a mansion, columns. You know, like a Rolls Royce out front, like that kind of thing. Because I'm like, how's there an 8-bedroom house?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, who builds an 8-bedroom house?
So this was an Encore property. I think it was owned by a company that does this specifically. So it was like designed for families that want to go to Disney or a bunch of golf nuts. So 8 guys, 8 bedrooms, but there was, I think, four king suites, and these suites were bananas. King size bed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So king-size bed, walk-in closets, private baths. 1 or 2 of them had jacuzzi tubs in it.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned earlier, it was the first people to get to the house got first picks. So because we chose to play a little more golf, we got there last. So there was 3 choices left. I got the manliest pick out of all of them. So each room had a theme. What was your bedroom theme?
Mine was Marvel. So on one wall was, Avengers and,
It's a giant mural.
Scarlett Johansson was on there, though. And then on the other side was Spider-Man.
Nice.
I feel like he was like the odd man out.
There you go. I had two choices that were left because there was 2 rooms. I ended up with the Mickey and Minnie room.
Yeah.
Red and yellow.
I think it was a good pick over your other one.
Yep. The other one was the Peter Pan room.
Peter Pan and the beds were little boats.
If you ever see those in Pottery Barn, they have like the theme for like New England beachside.
Yeah, that was them.
There was those boats, and I'm like, I'm not sleeping in a boat. So the last guy who took the 10 o'clock flight got the boat.
But
back.
I didn't really care because we're in them for 6 hours.
So the rooms were the least impressive thing. Although they were perfect, the beds were fine. They were perfectly apportioned. Tell us about the rest of the house.
Dude, you walk in, huge kitchen, big open kitchen, open dining room, open living room. Then you walk upstairs. So, like, most people don't picture this, and we'll have footage of it in our other stuff. But it wasn't like room. There was, like, open space. There was hangout area. So you walk upstairs, and there's, like, a chill area that has freaking arcade games.
So a little Pac-Man and Galaga, Mortal Kombat, the old stand-up video games. So that was kind of dope.
Like legit video games. And like washer dryer was like tucked in a closet. The guys had an ironing board out. So there was plenty of room there.
Yeah.
There was a cinema room, dude. Huge ass cinema room.
Big leather couch.
Big leather
funky
couch. You'll
carpet.
see we did our blind match recording in there.
Cool posters on the wall. Big giant projection theater.
Yeah, so everything up there, so that hangout area, the chill area outside with the arcade games was Star Wars themed. So that had like stuff all over.
Big murals of Yoda and Luke Skywalker and stuff.
And then,
but classy. This wasn't like this wasn't a joke. This was they went. If you were into Disney stuff, this was the place.
Oh, definitely the place, dude. I mean, I have a realtor.
And that was just upstairs.
I have a text out with a realtor down there right now.
Do you?
No,
Nice.
I should.
Yep.
Yeah. So then downstairs, like I said, big, huge. That couch was amazing.
We had to look up the couch. It was like $7,000.
The couch is awesome. I mean, it folded out, and it's so hard to describe really what it did. Like, people don't understand. I've told it to. Like, I even told it to Lisa, and she was like, okay, cool. I'm like, this thing folds up. It's the chillest couch ever. Pool.
Yep.
Hot tub.
Heated pool. Like heated though.
Yeah,
not
dude,
like it just took the chill off.
I jumped right in there.
Like
it was
90
awesome.
degrees.
Yep. Hot tub. Putting green.
Putting green
In the backyard, dude. It was awesome.
Barbecue. There was an outdoor seating for 10, which there was 8 of us.
Table, yeah.
There was indoor seating for 10.
Yeah,
that was no big deal. So.
And then the garage. The garage was converted, so it wasn't climate controlled, but it was definitely sealed.
Yeah.
Arcade games everywhere, dude.
Basketball games,
skee
ball,
double racing thing that me and you.
The racing simulator where you sit in it and the whole thing's around you.
And you can link them together, so we raced each other.
You can have a couple of beers while you race.
Yep. They had like PlayStation over like into the wall with gamer chairs.
Dude.
Foosball.
Bananas.
Dude, awesome.
Bananas, right?
I mean, remember you said you had a buddy that went down to Disney and didn't go to the parks?
Yeah.
Like, dude, you wouldn't even have to go to the park if you stayed at the house.
No.
You don't even blame. My kids wouldn't want to leave the house. Like, all right, fine.
So we didn't want to leave the house because our host he went shopping, took care of all the beer, the wine, the bourbon, the monsters, all the food. And that night when we got back, it was steaks for everybody. What was kind of cool, though, was the division of labor. I thought it was neat how everybody was like, hey, I'll prep the food. Another guy's like, hey, I'm good at the barbecue, and just goes over there. You were really eager to jump in to do dishes. Yeah. I suck at domestic duties. I really do, and I understand that.
We're going to have Jamie train you for the next trip.
She's away this week, and I'm holding my own. I got to be honest with you. There's one dish a day. But I take out the garbage. One of the guys was making was making the table, and then one guy we found out has an addiction to doing laundry.
Yep. Yeah, I asked him about that.
I never saw that before.
He told me, no, dude, I think it's awesome. He even asked me. Well, it was a good thing because I threw my jacket into the back of the cart, And then my playing partner threw his empty beers in the back of the cart. So I came back and my jacket was smelling like beer.
So at first I understood, like I got it. I was like, oh, he's like, hey, doing towels. Like there was 2 towels in each bathroom.
Yeah.
So
but that's all we got. We didn't get like linens. We didn't have like a housekeeper
nobody
come
came every day.
Yeah.
So you got so he's like, hey, I'm doing a load of towels. And I was like, okay, cool. But the next day he was like doing some of his golf clothes. And I'm like, it's kind of smart, you know. I'm like, maybe I can talk him into doing my golf clothes for the way back. That way I don't have to do laundry.
Stinky, yeah.
But the last day is like I'm doing everybody's golf towels. Now I don't know about you, and maybe this is a poll question, but how often do you wash your golf towel? The one that's on your bag, like the one that's physically clipped there, not the one that you wash your face, your hands, but like the one you clean.
The last time I washed it was post Puerto Rico, right? But we played Myrtle Beach since then, and that was it.
But on an average, how often do you?
The last time I washed it was never before that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Once a year. Once a year. When I bring my clothes.
I'm picky about my washer and dryer too.
Yeah.
And
Really?
it's a thick towel, and it's got that metal hook on it. I don't want that thing banging around in my washer and dryer.
I don't know.
I think maybe that's an excuse. I'm using. I don't wash it.
I don't know. I'd love to see in the comments. I got a feeling that he washes his golf towel like
once a week.
daily.
Daily. Ooh.
I don't know.
Dude,
It's at least once a week.
Dude, we want to know.
Yeah.
He knows.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
But anybody, I want to hear how often you wash your golf towel.
Yeah.
But I mean,
once a season for me. That's it. You know what? I'll play a tournament, get a new towel, take the old one off, throw it away, put a new towel on there until I get another golf towel at another
So I will
tournament.
say this. So if I do get a new towel, but I have an old Kiowa Island towel, so that's like my go-to towel. I've gotten a few since then. I think when I get the new towel, I throw it on there and wash the other one, and when I find it, after it's washed, mix it in the bottom of a pile somewhere. Finally, when I get to it, it goes back onto the bag and the other one comes off.
So every day we would leave the house 6:10 a.m.
Up at 5:15.
Two white SUVs to the course. What's cool about the course is down there, valet park from the front, grab your clubs on the bag.
No messing around.
Through the clubhouse, down there. Our host had everything taken care of.
Yeah,
it was
all the pairings, all the
money matches, the tee times, and took care of everything. But what I thought was really, really smart was he said, every day we're going to play 18 in the morning. We're going to come back. We're going to have lunch as a group. We're going to collect one bill. Somebody pay for the bill. And we're going to submit those bills at the end of the week for a receipt party.
Receipts. Yep.
So we play 18 in the morning, have lunch together, play 18 in the afternoon. We're not jerking around at the course because it's already 6 o'clock, 6:30 at night.
Yeah, no, you're out.
Back in the SUVs, which are valet parked right in the front, which is so cool. Right back up, back to the house. And then everybody, it's like in the pool or in the shower, in the hot tub. And everybody's just like, after 36 holes, you're wiped out. But everybody gets their own self-care. For me, it was 2 beers and then into the pool. Then it was getting changed into something comfortable. And then it was coming downstairs for another beer. Then it was in the hot tub with a few more beers. Then we'd have dinner. Then I'd have a glass of wine or 2 with dinner. And then a bourbon over cigars until it was, 10 o'clock was pushing it. It's not like we didn't want, we could have stayed up all night talking.
Easily.
But we all knew 5 a.m. And another 36 was coming.
And that's what, it's funny because, you hear some of these stories. I mean, obviously, we're older doing golf trips. It was 20 years ago. Yeah. You're up all night. I caddied for those guys. And those guys don't remember that round that they played at the Ocean Course.
The other thing that was so smart was, and I think we all had a little apprehension about it, playing 36 4 days in a row. I've never done that before.
No.
Right? And when I texted, they said, it's a lot, but you'll be okay. Believe me. It's a physical and emotional roller coaster, but you'll be fine. So smart because this group of people, if we just came back after 18 holes and had the rest of the afternoon to ourselves.
Oh, yeah, we would have found
some trouble.
Yeah, definitely some trouble. No, definitely, and you're right. You kind of are dude, 36, 4 days. But then while you're doing it, you're whatever. Yeah, obviously on that second 18, you're taking a couple holes, you're taking a swing off here and there where you're just oh, dude, that was such a lazy swing or whatever. But no, same thing with me. When I got back, I jumped. It was, let me think about having a water, but I grab a Monster, and then right in the hot tub, right in the pool and hot tub, and I just sat there for as long as I could, and then dinner, go up, shower, bed.
Yep. Okay. But I think what was amazing is like every day I found myself hanging out with somebody different.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but you'd be in the kitchen over a bottle of wine, talking with one guy, or you and I ended up in the hot tub one night with somebody else, and we talked about everything from astrophysics to the to space and time, and about
Jesus,
everything, dude. And that's the kind of trip that you want.
Yeah.
So
it's good stuff.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we play a different course. We'll talk more about that later. But we come back Friday night, and we have our receipt party. The guy, our host, collects all the information, all the dollars for the entire thing, divides it up equally amongst everybody. With a few notable exceptions. Somebody wanted to buy a $200 bottle of bourbon, or this person wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
He divvied it up even, and then everybody got one flat check bill.
Right.
And paid by Venmo, and you were done, which included your gambling. So our in-cart matches, which weren't a lot, but if you're playing 8 times, a lot of money going back and forth. All of that stuff was calculated, and you hit the button, and that's it. Yeah,
Done.
couldn't have been easier.
We had a bunch of stuff going on. Are we going to talk about that now? Like all the different matches?
Let's save that for podcast 15.
That is super interesting. And I was pumped about it. Like I was keeping track on scorecards. I loved it. So
we had multiple spreadsheets going on, multiple computers drilling down the information.
2 scorecards on my cart.
Yeah. But last thing I really want to talk about today is flight back. We were on the flight. Shout out to Money Mike, great travel companion.
Oh yeah, super cool.
Pro tip in the Orlando airport: if you're got all your golf gear with you, especially Southwest, you got all these extra bags.
Rental car.
Park the rental car. Pay the guy the $20.
Takes it right to dude. I mean, I'm surprised he wasn't flying the plane. That's how far he took us.
Exactly. So put the bags on there. He takes off at a sprint with 600 pounds worth of golf clubs and golf bags. Knows exactly where we're going. Brings us up there. Presses the buttons to get the baggage labels on there. Takes the heavy gear and puts it over by where it belongs. Over here. Done. Thank you guys. Yep. And he's off.
Yeah,
Pro tip. Best $20 you can spend.
Definitely, and I mean, we had a little scare. It was going to be delayed by a couple hours. I had to get back and coach my daughter's basketball game, and at this point, it looked like I was going to make it. Mm-hmm. So I text the automated Southwest text. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Delay.
And then I write, are you kidding me? And then it literally goes back to the original time.
Which was so good we were taking a look because 3 of us heading out the same. We're like, well, if we got 4 hours, why don't we go to Topgolf in Orlando?
Yeah, Adam wanted wings and beers.
We would have been 75 hard started on the following Monday, so I was going for it. But thankfully, and again, straight back, beautiful flight, nice and easy, and you couldn't ask for a better trip.
Wait until you see the little monkey wrench we threw at Adam in that one, though.
So here's the last thing that I want to cover. And again, this has been an unbelievable trip. The golf was perfect. The weather was perfect. Ball hawker, you were a champ because, like I said, you saved us $72 a dozen.
Yeah.
Where I think ball hawker's getting $20 or $25 for Pro Vs per dozen.
Yeah. Check out his site, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Next golf trip, bulk up on from ball hawker. But I've seen posts before that talk about the different types of guys on a golf trip, like the different personalities. And I think the thing that was amazing was lack of sleep, a lot of alcohol, a lot more in some cases than others. An amount of golf that I've never played before, let alone
in the sun.
You're the second youngest guy there, right? In your early 40s.
Who's younger than me? Foot?
Yeah.
How old is he?
37.
Oh, all right.
So we range from 37 to 73 years old, right?
Yeah.
36 a day, hot sun, wind, championship courses, unbelievable.
Yeah.
We're not, we're probably not eating as well as we should be, although we're eating great, but we're drinking a lot more.
I didn't touch any water the entire week.
No, not when there was beer to be had. So what was funny is everybody's true personality. Again, the only place I know these guys is from the golf course.
Right.
So now you're living with them for a week. Their true personalities came out, and you couldn't ask for a better bunch of guys.
I think like when you first start, you kind of like I don't want to say be on your best behavior, but you don't let your hair down yet.
Yeah.
But finally, you're playing 18 holes and you're in the same cart. You're finally just like. Yep. Dude, this is me.
Yep. And so you are who you are. But what I was so impressed about was how these guys got along. Despite some adversity, whether it was hey, dude, I'm just tired and I'm playing like crap and you're giving me crap and I don't, and I like that. Or, hey, I think you said something that I don't appreciate. Or, you ate all the onions. Whatever the case was, everybody was
save me those fries.
everybody was, or yeah, you told me to take the fries on the course. Now they're soggy. But long story short, though, these guys got it together brilliantly. Even though there was, you couldn't ask for a different, more interesting dynamic full of people.
Yeah.
So we've seen these polls all the time that talk about the 8 different types of people on a golf trip. We had 8 different types of golfers on a golf trip. So if you think about them, if we think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which personalities did we have on there?
So you got the partier.
We definitely had a partier, and thank God.
Yeah.
I think if we didn't have somebody that was there, number one, to see how much damage they could do to themselves, it wouldn't have been as much fun.
Totally fine. Listen, you got to do it. There's got to be somebody that's going to do it. You know what I mean? Like you got to let your hair down, man.
If I wasn't trying to play great golf, and I really was, he looked like he was having the biggest time out of all of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So good for him.
I think there's somebody that's right behind him is Mr. Margaritaville. Just the guy who just does not give a crap.
No. So he's happy to be on a vacation.
Dude.
He's a good golfer.
Yeah.
But if it was a cruise, if it was a trip to the Bahamas, if it was a ski trip, he wouldn't care what the trip was,
No,
right?
he had a blast. I mean, dude, there was times when he would hit great shots and he would hit crappy shots, and his reaction to both were the same. He was like, all right.
He was an excellent partner when I had him as a partner.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
Me and him played against you and Partier, and you guys just rocked us. I mean, we went into that knowing we were going to crush you guys, and for some reason, Party Boy had the round of his life
because I had him properly lubricated. I had my foot on the gas, and then I pumped the brake a little bit because I bought him a double, because I knew he was starting to tie. He was starting to not swing as good. So that I
Dude,
think
you coached him around that course or something, man. But we could not we just couldn't claw back.
No, so it's not Mr. I don't care. That's not.
It's not that he doesn't care.
I give him the Jimmy Buffett Award because he's like, whatever comes, I'm here to have a party. I'm having a great time.
He's having a great time.
And dude, he was such a blast to spend time with. He really was.
Yeah,
So you got the partier, the Dr. Buffett.
Dr. Buffett.
Yep. We had the pro. We had the
player.
The player. And
not the player.
No, not
the
all.
player.
But this is one I think we're all okay with. But Big Bird Brandon Kraft brought his A game.
Dude.
He played well. He didn't play as well as he wanted, but he was definitely the
Most
A player.
consistent.
Yeah.
Most consistent, good player.
Yep.
Playing well.
Yep. A couple. He had
And
a
you
couple.
guys will see next episode. We'll talk about how everyone did.
So we got the partier. We got the Margaritaville.
You got the organizer.
Dude, the organizer.
Like the Godfather.
Listen, if there's a special place in heaven for people that put that kind of time, effort, and energy for friends of his to have that kind of good time. And again,
and to still be able to enjoy yourself, right? Because I know that if I did it, and he had a folder that had everything in it, and I was scared to touch it. And I'm like, hey, do you happen to have that scorecard? He's like, yeah, go grab it. I'm like,
it was like the nuclear football, man.
Dude,
what he was carrying around.
If I was doing it, I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself like he did.
The first morning that we got to the golf course, he reminded me of me when I bring the kids to Disney World after 6 months of planning and everything. I'm like, this is going to go perfect or everybody's going to die. So, he had a little bit of that vibe the first day.
Did he?
A little bit. Yeah. Only because it's like, you get 8 of us. It's like herding cats.
You've been planning this thing for months. You want to make sure it just runs smooth, right?
And then it did. Yeah. It ran without a hitch.
Then I think he was just like, chill.
Yeah. Yep. And again, you can't say enough about Mike the organizer. So
and he just everything was like perfect.
Yeah.
Scores, money, everything, food.
He planned the trip better than a travel agent. He kept the dollars better than your accountant. He wrangled 8 drunk people around Orlando better than a scoutmaster, and he ran the whole thing like a Navy SEAL. It was,
nobody. It wasn't like. he wasn't like offensive or anything.
Not
Like, he
at
was
all.
just like, hey,
Wheels
out
up
the-
at 610 or
yeah.
take your own car.
Yeah,
You know?
that's it.
So we got the partier, we got Mr. I don't care, we got the player, we got the organizer.
The veteran.
Have the veteran.
Yeah.
And
The general.
The general. And like I said, when you got a guy who's 73 years old and hung in with us the entire
Dude, he's in
time.
better shape than all of us, though.
That's
You know,
true,
that's
too.
the thing. And everybody says it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know it. I've trained the guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in awesome shape. Like, the dude's 73. He's doing stuff that 40-year-olds aren't doing. You know, he's holding planks for 6-7 minutes without me telling him to do it. Yeah.
So mentally, physically, emotionally tough with that group. And again, like I said, the senior member of the group, but the veteran, got off to a rough start. He was my partner the day we both had our worst round, and we just were apologizing to each other the whole time. Then he figured out the chipping.
Yeah.
He was hitting drives, getting the ball around the green, and then this little 8-iron bump and run. It was banana time.
Dude, what, on that last,
He shot 38 on the back of National.
he did?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
When we
Good
played.
for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, no, that last round where it was him and Party Boy versus me and you,
Yep.
dude, what hole is that? 9?
Yeah.
I made a par on 9.
Yep.
He comes back and makes a par. I had a par out of my...
That's the hardest hole in the world.
And he just, like, makes an easy par.
Driver.
Chips up.
Something there.
Chips up with a little 8-iron,
bump and
tap-in
run.
par. I'm
Yeah.
like, man.
All right. So the partier, Jimmy Buffett, the player, the organizer, the veteran. That leaves us 3 left.
Well, one's me, one's you, and who we missing?
We are missing
Money.
Money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we just call him Money?
So Money Mike.
We don't want to offend him.
No, but former athlete.
Former athlete. There you go. Former D1 athlete.
Former D1 athlete, former baseball player, converted golfer, right? So this is a guy who's been playing golf for a long time, but not at a high level. Over the last couple of years, has taken it very seriously. Has gone to some golf
Did
academies.
he give you your Valentine's Day present yet? He's definitely gonna.
Really?
I mean, he loves you.
Well, what was nice was his playing with the former athlete, the former D1 athlete.
You can just call him Money.
Money Mike.
Just call him Money.
Just Money. So the exciting thing is he was real open-minded. He was asking people, how are you doing that? How are you chipping? How are you doing
He's
this?
so
And I-
interested in the game. Like,
Yep.
he wants to know everything there is to know about the game, which I think is amazing. It's awesome, right? Unfortunately for me, that backfires. For me.
Yeah.
But for him, I played with him like the next round after you did. I think you played him in the afternoon round. I played him the next morning.
Yeah.
Dude, he wouldn't shut up about you but in a good way. Like, he was like, dude, Adam thinks like this, or if you do that, like, he's like, I never thought of it like that. And
He's
I think
very athletic, but you realize that I'm sure in baseball he sees the whole field. He sees the chess match that's
But
going
it's
on
automatic when you
Right.
do that, right? Like, it's reaction.
Yep.
Golf is the opposite.
So we talked a little bit about putting, and this is a guy that, I said, he goes, you like those Chrome Softs? I go, listen, I said, being able to use the tri-track, helps me with aiming so much. That night he got back, ran out to Dick's, got a couple dozen tri-tracks, came back.
And he played well.
And he played really well.
Played really well, dude.
And had his best round either with you or later that afternoon. Had his best round and played really well.
And you could see, like, the frustrating thing, and I'll say this, playing sports in high school, is the frustrating thing is like, when you're an athlete like he is, a lot of times you can just dig deep and, like, just kind of reach down and just, like, play harder.
Yep.
Try harder, like, grind it out. Golf is the opposite, man, and it's frustrating, dude. It is frustrating. It's like, yo, let me just focus a little bit more, and it's, to me, golf is like, yo, all right, relax.
You simultaneously have to care with every ounce in your body and none of it at the same time.
And that's very hard to do for, like, especially an athlete. He told us a story about, college for him, and it's like, you gotta work your ass off to get to that level. And golf is like, all right, like, let me chill, like, let me let the mind go free. You got this little ball that's sitting still, and you have all this time in the world to hit it.
But bottom line is that we became very close. Not the three of us. I think he'll be making a couple of appearances on the channel.
Totally.
And like I said, we're going to get in the simulator with him. We got a couple of things that'll be cool for content. and he's a local guy, so that works out good. So it's down to you and me. Do you want to go you or me? Because I will tell you that behind your back, they were calling you Scorsese.
Good. That's
right?
a compliment to me, man. That's a compliment.
I was filming content, but Mike's got the DJI. He popping out the drone every chance. Has the the homemade camera holder.
$6.
Again, when we're in the house taking videos and stuff. So first off, super appreciated. Again, we'll talk about it a little bit. The balance between being a influencer and needing to record and trying to enjoy this golf trip. I think you pulled it off brilliantly.
Which I think I did also. Like I was a little concerned with shooting that much content or getting the shots that I needed or we needed, and still enjoying golf. I think I did.
I think you did.
I think I was able to enjoy the golf still.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and I think the guys will eventually come around and appreciate it. I think they kind of like bust chops a little bit about it, but when they start seeing videos like, dude, that's so cool. I'm glad you got that on camera and stuff like that. I think it'll come around.
Exactly, and again, we got hours and hours and hours.
Call
of
me
footage.
the director.
The director. I like Scorsese.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
There you go. So that was up to me, and like I said, we had to put it to a poll.
I have a couple.
I bet you did.
I think in the group text it came down to the competitor or the purist.
The purist.
No, I was thinking the grinder, but without the E.
I like the purist. I like
the competitor.
I like the competitor.
The competitor because you are whenever it comes down to it, dude, you're right there in the mix with everything. I know everybody had a bunch of matches. You had a couple matches going with a couple other guys. Mm-hmm. We always had something going on. We had 45 different matches going, and you were always right in the mix of everything. Yeah.
So we had the partier, Jimmy Buffett, the player, the organizer, the veteran, money. We had the director and the
competitor.
Yeah, I put down grinder.
You can be the grinder. Dude.
I don't want to be the grinder. The competitor. So again, you take all these guys from 37 to 73 years old. You put them in a beautiful house in an unbelievable location in an unbelievably well organized golf trip. You turn them loose for a week, and outside of a few sore backs and a couple of sore feelings, which were again to be expected, I think perfect golf trip.
Yeah, dude, perfect golf, perfect weather, perfect house, perfect dudes. That was awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the question is when's the next one?
Well, we'll find out from our sponsors.
There you go. Exactly. Let's go Shaft Raps. We've never been to Arizona before.
Yeah.
So. But listen, that's been a long podcast. It feels great, though. It really does. We want to hit you guys up. Coming to you soon with a ton of content. That'll be on the heels of this. So check us out on YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok. Those are the main ones. You can catch this podcast again on Spotify if you're traveling. So, like I said, you got anything else?
No, that's it, man.
Yeah, that was a lot. But
another episode coming up about the rest of the stuff, though.
There you go. Yep, so stay tuned. So with that said, I'm Adam.
I'm Mike.
Yo! Tips.